A dark hotel room, laptops sprawled open, video surveillance cameras, and the founder leaning over to ask a stranger, "What if I took your phone?" Opened every folder and said, "I might know your secrets." That was the moment, that was the kind of concept, the idea behind Zcash. Not another cryptocurrency, invisible money. Your programming language could have been dispatched to anybody. Anybody would realize who you were. Governments would struggle, hackers would fail, your financial footprint? Gone. Zcash launched on October 28, 2016. Led by Azuki Wilcox O'Hearn, the project was developed by a team of cryptographers based on academic research on Bitcoin and its inability to provide real privacy.
Can be used to solve the privacy problem in a blockchain.
Zcash wasn't content with pseudonymity. It demanded anonymity. For the first time with Zk-Snark's zero-knowledge proofs, you were able to prove possession of real money without having to reveal your identity, the amount sent, or the destination. Investopedia +2, Zcash +2. The early excitement was definite. The investors, the libertarians, the coders, everyone wanted in on Zcash. Zcash was the other Bitcoin, only better. Invisible, free from trace. By the time it was released in exchanges, it was at the peak of hype. The technology was promising, the vision was compelling, however, the vision collided with reality as months ticked by. Privacy was also the problem, regulators saw red. A currency you couldn't trace? That needed answers, and sometimes the community frayed as well. Zcash, to anonymize or not to anonymize, that is the debate. Or be a little more transparent, so they play nicely with regulators and exchanges? That privacy is a basic human right, which was one camp. The other side as the award for survival. However, the consumption told a different tale. Most users continued to use transparent addresses even though Zcash was designed to be used with shielded transactions. Research showed the majority of the shielded coins were exchanged back to transparent coins within a short time. The marketing promised one thing, but the anonymity set was much weaker.
Is truly a private currency.
I think truly private transactions are when you can transact with each other without requiring each other to disclose more information than necessary.
That gap between promise and practice started to erode trust. Then the market moved. Zcash ballooned in price by the end of 2017 and throughout 2018. ZEC reached peaks while riding the crypto bull run. Investors discussed the privacy currency that could transcend borders, safeguard identities, maybe even upend the surveillance apparatus. However, when regulators tightened their noose, exchanges then delisted or restricted privacy coins. Japan banned them. South Korea and US platforms pushed back. Zcash's edge became its liability. The story needed something more than just a technology, though. That same cryptography that amazed but did not predict widespread adoption. The tokenomics were controversial. A founder's reward or mining commission that directed early blocks to insiders and institutions. That raised questions of fairness and regulatory uncertainty. A declining shielded transaction address set and rival privacy coins such as Monero eroded Zcash's edge. However, Zcash was not characterized by a crash, it was a fade. The price didn't stop overnight, rather its promise shrank. Invisible money became complex money. The coin, if you're asking, where are the shielded transactions? Where is the massive adoption? The answer then became nowhere close to what we wished.
I don't want to see people adopting a system that can be used to surveil them. I want to see them adopt something that's trying to protect them.
Today, Zcash lives on. It continues development, it progresses reinforcements. For example, the Orchid concealed pool and endeavors to eliminate trusted setup services. But the new big thing tag is lost. It is not about an explosion, but about survival that you tell investors. And here comes the part you can all relate to. People who believed in Zcash were buying hope. Privatized as far as money is free, Hyde and plenty bided their time for the moment of invisible money, but money behaves like water. It runs toward simplicity, toward acceptance, toward legislation. But Zcash was attempting to redefine all three at once. What can we take away? First, without the behavior of users, big vision is nothing. Anonymity is complex. Privacy is expensive. Usability matters. Exchanges matter. Trust matters. Zcash had the tech, but didn't have the mass trust and the mass flow. Second, regulation doesn't wait. Those that are based on loopholes or idealism will ultimately have to change or die. Zcash sought to play both the anonymous and compliant hands simultaneously, which put it in a state of equilibrium. Lastly, newness doesn't mean a revolution. The math can be phenomenal, but the market votes when it comes to volume, clarity, and usefulness. So, if you're tracking the next privacy coin, the next hidden money token, the first question you can ask is the feature being used by people? Are transactions being shielded? Are regulators engaging or distancing? Because when answers are up in the air, you might be staking a claim not to the technology, but to the conviction. And beliefs can deflate. This is more than a crypto story. This is a tale of principle versus morals versus money. Vision versus uptake. The people who created Zcash had a vision of privacy as a human right. The market watched, the regulators intervened, usage stagnated. Yes, the Zcash story is nuts. From a digital invisibility cloak to a red zone in sight of the regulator. Between C-Lab fantasies and reality bites at the market, from fixed money coin to a lesson. If you hear the buzz of the next privacy breakthrough, hold the questions. What does it solve? For which people? Who uses it daily? Who oversees it? Because in the absence of execution, vision is just a story. Zcash reminded us that even when you think you're safe, you're not anonymous.